Sprinting for women has a long and rich history quite similar to, or even more intriguing than their male counterparts. This is why we will take a look at the evolution of female sprinting through the 100 meters event and its progression throughout the years. The first ever recorded 100 meters world record dates way back to 1922. The time of 13.6 seconds belonged to Marie Medzlikova. She actually held the world record in the long jump as well, using that great speed to dominate two events at the same time. Unfortunately, her world records could not last until women were given the opportunity to participate in the event at the Olympics. Women finally got the privilege to participate at the 1928 Games after years of petition on their behalf by the International Women's Sports Federation. Heading into that monumental Olympiad, Japanese sprinting legend Kinyu Hitomi had the world record at 12.2 seconds. Otherwise known as the Japanese Wonder Woman, she had developed quite a reputation as an oddly athletic Asian. She had really long legs standing at 5'7", with huge thighs, which would explain the origin of the power she also used to dominate the long jump and triple jump. Women at the time, and for majority of the sport's history, took part in track and field, mainly as a recreational activity, as they had to deal with the responsibilities of being wives and mothers. So most ladies never actually got a lengthy career as they would have liked. It was very difficult for athletes, male or female in the sport, to make a living from running, because at the time the sport's governing body held firm belief in amateurism. So most of the athletes had to do full-time jobs and train in the free time, and for women this was even more difficult because motherhood is a job that never gives breaks. This probably could explain why Betty Robinson at just 16 years old won gold at the 1928 Olympic Games, meanwhile breaking the world record, dropping the time to 12.0 seconds. That time also goes down as the first ever Olympic record for that event. Until today she remains the youngest female to do this. Much improvements in the lives of athletes were not seen during these periods, especially with most people believing that sports were not for women. Despite this, these women continued to overcome odds in order to put their best performances forward. Most notably was Francina Blankers-Koen, who just weeks after giving birth resumed training. She went on to break the world record running 11.5 in 1943 and equaling the mark again in the process of dominating 3 individual events at the 1948 Olympics. Her preparation was very unique, as in order to get back in shape following her maternity leave, she challenged men at local meets to push herself. This was said to be done quite regularly in this particular time. It was not until 1986 that the World Athletics changed the rule of amateur competition, allowing athletes to get corporate sponsorship. This probably should have been done earlier to help previous top-class athletes and those with great potential to remain in the sport. This happened almost a decade following Renate Stecker's monumental achievement of being the first woman to break 11 seconds. She ran 10.9 seconds at first and then lowered it to 10.8 seconds afterwards to break multiple barriers at this time. Ironically, it came 5 years following Jim Hines' run in Mexico to officially become the first man to run under 10 seconds. Stecker's performances put women in the spotlight because not only was she the first under 10 seconds, she took a step further by going under 10.9 seconds. Meanwhile, men were still at 9.9 in this period. Loads of conspiracy surrounded herself among other German sprinters, especially following a major bust which confirmed that East Germany were involved in state-sponsored doping. The woman who took down her record with a 10.88 run in 1982, Marlies Gore, slightly escaped the scandal as they found no file linking her to this doping scandal. Gore was a revolutionary sprinter as she gave great focus to the improvement of technique. She had a technique which was pioneered by her coach Horst Dieter Hill that focused more on high frequency. Given her height of 5'5", she was bound to be successful. Her success got her in a rivalry with Evelyn Ashford, a lady who revolutionized sprinting in the United States. Ashford was known as a very hard worker, and meanwhile many were complaining about the alleged drug use. She stayed focused on becoming the best ever. Her journey started when she set both of the American sprint records in the 100 and 200 meters. She even ran a world record in the 60-yard dash, adding to the list of accomplishments. The rivalry that was mostly in the favor of Gore took a wild turn when Ashford ran 10.79, just a month after Gore lowered the world record to 10.81 seconds. Ashford put her past disappointments behind to be crowned the world's fastest woman. She pioneered the importance of relaxation in sprinting among females, and it would help her to lower the world record again to 10.76 seconds. Her world record would last only for 4 years, as it was broken on multiple occasions by fellow American Florence Griffith Joyner. Joyner took the world record from 10.76 to 10.49 seconds in the space of 2 days. This just coming off a break following her disappointments in 1984, where she couldn't stand up against the best in the world, barely breaking 11 seconds on a few occasions. The time she ran came as a shock to many, which caused many to point fingers at performance enhancement drugs for this huge improvement. But a look at Florence in 1981 as compared to 1988 shows a more physically conditioned athlete who had more power at her disposal, along with the fact she had become so much more relaxed, maybe the most relaxed athlete in sprinting for both male and female. This could account for her improvement, not drugs. The time of 10.49 scares every female sprinter, and since then no other female has ever come close. No one has even gotten to the second and third fastest times that she had run. So now the big question looms, will this record ever be broken? There are loads of talent in modern-day sprinting, from the junior section up to the seniors, but no one actually wants to challenge this time. Especially with large masses thinking that this world record should be removed due to the alleged invalidity of the wind reading. However, taking a look at Shelley Ann Fraser-Price's 10.79 run in 2009, she could actually have gotten close to Flo Jo's fastest most valid time of 10.61. The only difference was that Flo Jo maintained her top speed for 30 meters without dropping not even a thousandth of a second. Meanwhile, Shelley Ann decelerated heavily over the last 30 meters. Surprisingly, she is not miles ahead of other females when it comes to top speed, as Ivorian sprinter Ta Lou in 2017 hit a top speed of 10.86 meters per second, quite close to Flo Jo's top speed of 10.98 meters per second. Other sprinters came close as well, so indeed females can run 10.6 or even faster. It's just a matter of how willing they are to try and continue to break barriers after barriers like the legend before them did.